It has happened again. Where is the money? Where is the money? Who is the responsible for holding the money? One thing I have literally learned about these people of class hierarchy, the people that assume that they have every single thing, is anything that want to affect the masses, they will prefer to eat it, swallow it, hold it alone, and move. I don't want to go into details, but did you guys heard about DOGE, right? Have you been hearing about DOGE recently? You think it was by accident or by coincidence that you literally stopped hearing about it? Oh my God. As at this point, I feel like poor people have more integrity than rich people. Honestly. And you see these people called magas, you see these people called white folks. They are gonna bite their fingers in pains. A lot of them are crying already. Watch this video. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If this is the first time you're coming in, my name is Sonia, and I want to say a very big thank you for your support, your love, for always sending super thanks, liking, sharing, dropping commentaries. I love you guys. Let's watch this video and drop me your honest opinion. I'm really, really pissed. Let's watch.
So DOGE is gone, but where the money? Where the money? So for those of you who may not know, right, DOGE ran by Elon Musk, soon to be trillionaire, and I'm going to repeat that phrase as many times as possible throughout this video, right? It's no more. It's no more. Alright, so boom. At the beginning of the year, DOGE, ran by Elon Musk, soon to be trillionaire, right? He had promised that he was going to save $2 trillion in government funding. And they have already claimed to have secured $214 billion in government funding for 2025. Mind you, $214 billion in savings would mean exactly $1,329.19 per taxpayer. Now, you can find this information on Newsweek and TimesNow.com. But see, here's our issue now, right? As of last week, the director of Office Personnel Management told Reuters that DOGE no longer exists. It's no longer there, that it will no longer function as a centralized entity. Mind you, they have 8 months left with their little contract with the White House, meaning 8 months left of them fulfilling their duty. The contract was for 18 months. They only completed 10. Now, y'all remember that the only reason DOGE is around is to save us money, right? Right. Okay, so let's do now a numbers recap. Boom. So Elon Musk, soon to be trillionaire, right? Head of DOGE, has terminated 13,440 contracts, has terminated 15,887 grants, has terminated 264 leases, has cut 280,253 jobs, promised to save $2 trillion, claims to have saved $214 billion, right? But analysts suggest that the actual savings are between 1 and 7 billion. 1 and 7 billion. You promised us 2 trillion. You claim to have secured 214 billion. Where the money, Elon? Where the money, Elon? And you about to become a trillionaire, the first trillionaire, the world's first trillionaire? Where the money, Elon? And now you see the real reason why all these DOGE employees are starting to scramble. It's not because of the loss of employment. It's because of the fear of persecution. Persecution is near, my dear. You see, these DOGE employees, or former employees, I should say, they're not slow. They know what's up. In order for us to actually get Elon, in order for us to get to Elon, make him face any of the charges and face any of the crimes that he's committed against America, against American people, that we got to go through every single one of them first. We got to take each and every one of them down first. That's the only reason why that Elon is probably chilling right now. He knows that there is a gang of people that we have to go through before we actually get to him, before we're actually able to charge him. And that's what these employees are scared of, or former employees. Because like I stated, This man promised to save us $2 trillion. And now all of a sudden, he's on track to becoming the world's first trillionaire. He stated that he's already secured $214 billion in savings, but our analysts are saying, no, it's looking like the numbers are actually between 1 and 7 billion. So where did all of that money go? Where did it go? Jesus.
We have some news right now. Americans are never going to get a $5,000 DOGE stimulus check.
No fucking kidding, we're not. We never were going to. Never, ever.
I remember earlier this year when Donald Trump was first put into office and he had Elon working for DOGE, right? DOGE was going in, went to the Social Security Administration, had access to all our Social Security numbers and business up in there, right? He went in there, he found out, and he said so many people that was already deceased or was receiving checks and all other type of things. They said once they finished getting all them budget cuts and digging into all the stuff in the Social Security Administration, that Americans will see a DOGE dividend is what they were going to call it. I know a lot of y'all done forgot, but old auntie don't forget much. It was going to be called a DOGE dividend. That was the name of the check that we was going to receive, right? They finished. Y'all know Elon Ben left the White House. He's gone. Him and Trump are actually, beefing. They ain't even friends no more, y'all. And as of yesterday, ironically, y'all, DOGE no longer exists. It's not even a thing anymore. DOGE no longer exists at all. What happened to the millions and trillions of dollars that y'all cut and found in DOGE? Where our DOGE dividend? What a check. What a money. What happened to all that money that y'all found? What? Come on now, y'all. I forget a whole lot of things, but I don't forget when they talk about no money. Y'all don't remember them talking about the DOGE dividends and how every American will receive some of that money? Where's that? How come DOGE no longer even exists anymore? Y'all better stay woke. Open them eyes, because y'all know Auntie be on top of it all, baby. Thank y'all for sipping a little more tea with Auntie. Bye, y'all.
Damn, is there anything that's not falling apart in the Trump administration right now? Because I guess DOGE just shut down too. That's right, the Department of Government Efficiency apparently wasn't very efficient, and so it's gone 8 months before its contract ends. But the best part, by far the best part, is that all of the former employees are terrified that they're going to be prosecuted. What for, honey? Did you commit crimes? Former and current DOGE employees fear that they're at risk of prosecution now that Musk has fallen out of favor with Trump and left the government. Staffers have lived with the ever-present threat of backlash, public scrutiny, upset cabinet officials, even the prospect that someone might assert criminal charges against them. Guys, seriously, one DOGE leader warned his colleagues during an early June event that was something akin to a wake, per the publication. Get your own lawyer if you need it. Elon's great, but you need to watch your own back. What was that old saying? If you lie down with dogs, you get up with fleas? Yeah, babe. I think you should have paid more attention to your nursery rhymes.
Well. Looks like Doge is freaking the fuck out. All the people that was a part of the team, it was like mainly made up of 8 young engineers, but it was some other side quests going on and another team of people that was helping said side quests, if you know what I mean. Turns out Elon Musk deserted the fuck out of them. He deserted them a while ago. They're just now realizing that he deserted them. So, long story short, the 8 young engineers, alongside several other people that was a part of the team, are now afraid of public scrutiny. They're afraid that they're going to be held to like the jury of public, the public opinion. Also, criminal charges may be brought against them because, as you can see, even Donald Trump is being held accountable for his actions that he's been exhibiting in the White House and pretty much going out way outside of his bounds as the president. And now they're realizing that, all the lies that Elon Musk told them or pretty much kind of tried to sell them are not, that's not going to happen. So they were under the impression, these engineers that were on the DOGE team, as they went into our student records, they had our social security numbers, all of that. It's important for you to understand that. That way you can also file a complaint and possibly get all your student loans tossed away, okay? Because these are foreign agents that were handling our information, our personal information, which if you have not read it, you can actually, file a complaint against the student loans, right? So they went into our shit knowing that it was illegal. That everything they did was illegal. And they knew that. But they were under the impression that Elon Musk had a direct link with Donald Trump, that of which he did, so that they would be on the list so that they could get a full pardon. They are not. 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 Ha ha! I know I said I hate to say I told you so, but baby, I'm happy. I told you so. You see, the problem is not enough of y'all watch Leverage, the show Leverage. And that's really my issue with y'all. And it really shows. Not a lot of y'all watch Leverage. Because if you had, for a fact, there is always going to be fallouts. Loose ends, if you will. And baby, if they don't, you're going down. I mean down basement to the ground, and you're not coming from up under it. Don't believe me? Ask the special elite teams and the black ops agents that was previously a part of the Marines, Navy, Air Force, and Army that was discarded after they sent them over into specialized groups to do certain shit that they weren't supposed to be doing. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? And they came back and they were what? See, not a lot of y'all watch the show Burned. And that's really my problem. Y'all don't watch Hawaii Five-0. Y'all don't fuck with NCIS the way I fuck with NCIS. Because if you had, you would know that a recurring theme that recurs so much in these kind of shows occurs so often that it quite literally has to be true. I mean, it plays out the same way every single time. They get a team together of people that are eager, and they have a motive. They all have a combined interest. They give you ambiguity and vagueness surrounding the legality of the situation, of whether or not you're allowed to do it and if you have the clearance to do it. What looks like you have the clearance to do it actually is just a temporary administrative admission, which means you hacked it or you doing something you ain't supposed to be fucking doing. And every single time something like this happens, I know there's one missing piece to the puzzle. Nobody ever questions whether or not y'all can be arrested for this shit. And if you do, you don't really ask for a breakdown and clarification. You don't really go through it with a fine-tooth comb about how something don't feel right. And everybody on those teams be there because they're just excited to be there, that they be missing the most important shit. Cover your ass, which is exactly what they did not do. So now he can go back, Elon Musk, and say, I never did anything. I instructed them to do things, but I'm not even a citizen here. I'm not even an American citizen. I have no power. I have no authority. I have no authority, and I was following under the guidelines of the president at the time. I was just being told. They never put those pieces together. They never, ever, 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 ever. They always miss that one detail. Whose fucking finger is on the trigger? And if he wanted that bad, why didn't you do it yourself? Because somebody has to go down for this shit, right? Right, gotcha. I'm not, that's a no for me. Now, after y'all done did the dirt, you scared as shit, because you know we finna be on your ass like white bitches on NBA players during March Madness weekend. You already know what's up. You already know what's up. You already know what's up. You know the public is coming after you. You unlocked the door for that man to steal our money. You had to have known this was not going to go well. This was going to go one of two ways. Either you was going to go down to the ground, get arrested and indicted for it, or you was going to get your ass whooped. You just hoped that they was going to leave you a little something so you could get away. You didn't want that pardon. You wanted to get the fuck up out of Dodge. Every pun intended. See, you missed it. Y'all missed it. Y'all missed every single detail that was sitting right in front of y'all face. And I said, watch how this ends. There's going to be some loose ends. And one thing about America, they don't fucking do loose ends. America don't do loose ends. You either, or you somewhere in the maximum hold. where you can shut the fuck up and ain't nobody gonna listen to a motherfucking thing you say. Where you can shut the fuck up, or you can, you end up missing. You come up missing. They missed every single bit of it. I bet you he flashed all types of money and shit like that. Congratulations. He done told you he got all types of pull, and yeah, I'm that nigga. He ain't even an American citizen. How the hell you think he got pulled like that? He ain't even, I don't give a damn that he was working for Donald Trump. He's not even an American citizen, let alone a politician. He's a foreign agent. Bottom line, foreign agent, which means he has no authority to do no shit like that. You an American citizen, no, you can be held liable for your actions. Because guess what, Buki? Your finger was on the trigger. Your prints are everywhere. Oh, yeah. He done went around and told everybody about how he got the best team in the world, and they gonna get done what he needs them to get done, and grab that money, hop, skip his $1 trillion ass the fuck up out of here. And guess who has to go find the money and the resources to even so much as find a lawyer that can get them the fuck off of this shit? Baby, you're already buried. I don't think you have realized. You're already buried. The man hop skipped the fuck up out of here, and y'all haven't heard from him in months. That's called an Irish exit. You're going down for it. He got what he wanted. Yikes! Like I said, I hate to say I told you so. I'm lying. I love to say I told y'all so. Because how many times are we going to learn this? We're going to have to relive and relearn this dumbass fucking cycle. How many times we got to keep going through this cycle? It's like white people love to hate every other color so bad. And had y'all just listened to that one black lady. My God, today. Had y'all just sat down somewhere and said, you know what? I don't like the way that black lady was moving over the past year, but you know what? I'd rather talk it out with her than to deal with the latter. But y'all had your eyes and y'all mouth foaming on the wrong shit, and they play right into it. They threw the rope out there, and MAGA, and everybody that was rolling with MAGA, y'all hung yourselves. All they had to do was throw the rope. You was willing to do the hanging. They didn't have to lift a finger. All they had to do was whisper a bunch of sweet nothings, promises, and wishes into your ear. Listen, I knew when my ex told me his whole family was MAGA, everybody around this motherfucker's insane. All you bitches. Something wrong with all you motherfuckers. All of y'all. And all I gotta do is just point it out and sit back and wait for the house of cards to crumble. And now it's crumbling, baby. It's crumbling. Oh, good luck though. Hopefully, y'all, they find a lawyer. Hopefully, I don't know. They haven't officially brought up on any charges thus far, but they smell it coming. They see the writings on the walls and they smell it coming, which is why they scared. Stay tuned, y'all, because this shit is messy.
DOGE employees are reportedly terrified they're about to face criminal prosecutions after Elon Musk abandoned them. Remember, these guys slashed government programs, eliminated jobs, and accessed sensitive information. Now they're worried that Elon Musk, who of course recruited them, won't step in to save them by appealing to Donald Trump on their behalf should things take a turn for the worse. Noting that DOGE staffers have lived with the ever-present fear of backlash, public scrutiny, upset cabinet officials, and even the prospect that someone might assert criminal charges against them. A report notes that there is a growing sense of dread that Musk will no longer champion them if they are subject to investigations. Elon wasn't just their visionary leader. For them, he was their protector, the man who had a direct line to Donald Trump, who they believed could pick up the phone and secure a presidential pardon if the worst came. One of the guys still thinks that Elon is their brother in arms, and another one says, guys, seriously, get your own lawyer if you need it. Elon is great, but you need to watch your own back. It's also being reported that DOGE has disbanded. They no longer exist with 8 months left on their mandate. So if I were any of these people who Elon Musk recruited to do criminal things, I would be very worried right now.
We got breaking news. DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, just ceased to exist. According to Time magazine, it got disbanded ahead of schedule since it wasn't really that efficient. Musk promised that there will be $1 trillion in savings for government budget and ended up saving allegedly 214 billion, but in reality it's closer to just 8 billion. So now all of the employees of DOGE are getting reassigned to other departments, And this just proved to be a nothing burger, but it was a huge leverage, this huge campaign that they did during Trump election, which I know a lot of people thought that this will make a huge difference in America and will make America greater again, but it did not do anything. Absolutely. It was a complete waste of time and resources. Let me know what you think in the comments. But this is pretty big news. And if you want to support me, check out my website, ukrainianfriend.com, if you want to order a hat like this. Or if you want to support me monetarily, you can send a Venmo or PayPal. Links are in my bio as well. See you in the next one.
DOGE no longer exists. The made-up Department of Government Efficiency that Donald Trump brought Elon Musk in to run and he departed from in May has now been absorbed by other agencies across the government 8 months early. Now, Donald Trump says this would streamline most of the government, and it did no such thing. In fact, it made the government worse. It made it less efficient because now there's 250,000 federal workers that are no longer employed by the federal government. It made the workload increase. It made the wait times increase. It made websites less reliable, data protections less reliable, and it didn't accomplish any of its goals. In fact, it cost the United States more money than it ever saved. So the Department of Government Efficiency was a bust from the beginning, and now it's gone. Now, according to Reuters, most of its functions have been absorbed into the Office of Personnel and Management, which is where they were before. So DOGE did nothing. It cost us millions of dollars. It cost us hundreds of thousands of jobs, and it made the country worse across the board.
If you're wondering why we haven't heard from DOGE in a little while, that's because it was quietly pushed out. The NGO money that pours into Washington ends up in politicians' pocket as dark money, and that's according to Tim Burchett. And he said that that's why Elon Musk and DOGE was pushed out, because they were getting a little too close to that secret, right? And none of the politicians from the right or the left wanted the people to know just how much money they were taking from NGOs, where the majority of the waste, fraud, and abuse was coming from, was from these NGOs. It's like just another one of many, another kick to the balls this week. Especially lately, it seems like there's always the comments in my comment section of people asking, well, what do we do now? What do we do? Is it a new party? I don't have a really good answer for you. I just don't. I have my own theory about this whole thing, and that theory is that the GOP was next. First, we took after the Democrats. That whole party is a mess, and hilariously so. Like, the jokes write themselves at this point. But now it's the GOP's turn, and that's crashing. What comes after that, I don't know. I do think there's some intentionalism behind this, and I think that the people's part is to see it and to crash the whole system, because it's a worthless system. We're not going to vote our way out of this. Not enough people believe in the voting process anymore. They just don't. Voting is going to become a very hot topic over the next year with the primaries coming up. But unless something drastically changes, and I mean drastically changes, okay, there isn't enough people that are going to go out and vote. There isn't enough people that are going to be able to fix this. So then what can you do? Well, the first thing that you can do is you can start paying really close attention to your local government, because shit runs downhill. If you don't like what happened in New York, pay attention to your local government. If you don't like what happens in California, pay attention to your local government, okay? Because that shit will run downhill. Get to know your local politics and get to know them well. The next thing I would say is that the days of writing your congressman or calling your congressman's office are fucking over. Start calling these people out publicly. Tag them. Tag everybody. I don't care. You're not going to get shit done if you're just calling them and it's going to voicemail and you're leaving 100 voicemails. You're just wasting your time and energy. They're just deleting them. Do it publicly. Do it publicly on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok. Publicly call these people out. Don't threaten anybody. Okay? Don't go in there. Don't threaten people. Don't accuse them without it being your opinion. Don't accuse them of anything, but call them out publicly. They always see it. They might threaten to sue you. They might threaten to, but they'll see it. The thing you could do is try to remove yourself from this as much as fucking possible. Have you ever asked yourself, well, there's 40 million people on food stamps in the United States, 40 million people, because the government ain't shit without their control over you. And the government has control of over 40 million people in this country. Complete and utter control. Next thing you can do is recognize the new players. Legacy media, mainstream media is dead. Find out who your new media is. Same trigger words, same talking points. A lot of times they like to repost each other. Don't let it take as long as it did with legacy media to recognize the propaganda. I could come out here and tell you to stop paying taxes, but I can't do that, because if somebody gets arrested, then they're going to be like, shit, accept it. I can't do that. If us stop paying taxes in 1 year and it becomes really noticeable, okay, they're going to start making examples of people. But what I would recommend you do is I would recommend that you find yourself a tax professional, not like H&R Block.
Find yourself a tax professional, somebody who's really good at it, and sit down with them and talk to them about some ways that maybe you can fix this. Maybe you can not pay in as much. Maybe what's a better avenue for you. Health insurance is another thing. If you are paying out of pocket for health insurance, sit down with somebody who knows a little bit about health insurance and see if there's a better way that you can do it, that you're not giving them all your money. We need to educate ourselves. We need to educate ourselves on a lot of this stuff. One thing that the government hates the most, it's an educated and more self-reliant nation, because once those two things, it's over. And I'm not talking about college educated. I'm talking about educated, awake. And if I can think of anything else, I'll let you know. But those are going to be my key takeaways. Don't depend on the government. Get fucking loud about how you feel and what you're thinking, and make it very, very public. Either things will change or they won't, but you can't say you didn't try.
Somebody who's in tech and wanted to see DOGE succeed, I think we have to be honest in saying that DOGE was an absolute failure. Relative to its mission, it accomplished absolutely nothing. Like, the only thing it maybe accomplished was a little bit of transparency into some of like the USAID funds, but even then that had no actual impact on our country, right? Like, Elon left in July and now it's being shut down. What are takeaways from this DOGE experiment? Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Number one, there probably isn't as much blatant fraud as a lot of people claim that there was. But, and this leads me to number two, there probably is a good amount of waste and abuse, but nobody actually cares about it. Like, there's all these examples of people coming out and saying the Department of Defense or whatever agency, spends $80 to buy a pen that you could buy $1 for. I fully believe that happens, but they don't care enough to do anything about it. That leads me to number three, which is DOGE was never really empowered to make big, impactful decisions because they didn't have congressional support. So then the question becomes, was DOGE set up to fail? And I think there's two sides of this. On one side, there certainly were people from the beginning saying, hey, DOGE doesn't have full congressional support, they don't have budget authority, they can't really make the big changes that they need to make, and so they're never going to be impactful. With that being said, on the other side, the current administration was obviously supportive of DOGE, and the current administration does have both House and Senate majority. So if DOGE was ever going to be successful, it would have been in this time when they have the fullest support that they could possibly have. I think at the end of the day, it's a bummer that this didn't work, only for the reason that I think we all want to see the government run more efficiently, provide better services to the citizens and Americans of this country, and reduce the U.S. national debt. But it looks like we'll have to wait for that if it ever comes.
So at this time, it is exhausting. Why is it that these said people that have money still want every single thing that the poor people need? Why is it that they are never satisfied? No matter how you try, you still see them in one way or the other trying to take what still belongs to the public, trying to enrich themselves, trying to make sure they get more. Why is it like this? Where did we offend you guys? After all the promise with DOGE, after every single promises, I just know that a lot of people that are black folks do not really believe these people 100%. And that is one beautiful thing about us as blacks. We don't put our head in one space. What else can these people not do? Let's take some few comments. I'm going to be taking some few comments from the most popular video, which is this particular lady's video. What's her name? And Merculia Liova. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it very wrong, but I'm sorry, okay? Anyways, some people here said, Granny said, he also stole all of our personal data without any consent. Another person here said, he has been a robber from the onset. Another person here said, where is the money? The money is gone. The money is gone. Another person here said, if true, Elon Musk's baby mamas better up their child support. If true, Elon's baby mamas should better up their child support. Another person here said, Elon got that cash you all are looking for. Another person here said he will flee the country. He has already been flying up and down, so I'm not surprised. That person here said in China, this will be punishable by death. Another person here said, I can't be the only one to have seen that robbery from the get-go. Another person here said, allegedly, they didn't save anything. They never showed up the money, never saw where they cut it from. It's all lies. Another person said, I feel financially assaulted. Another person here said, good question, where is the money? Another person here said, I hope they don't become dead before we can get them to get him. Another person here said it was a robbery. He wasn't going to save money for the American people. How many contracts did he put his name on? He got all the money. Another person here said, where is the money? Hello. Another person say the robbery. Another person here say people jumping ship because they all know they're all about to go to jail. Another person here said they are robbed. They all robbed the US blind, the biggest heist ever. This one is even more than heist. Like, this one is the respect. That person said the money is in the hands of him and the rich. That's why he is now a trillionaire and others are billionaires. That person here just did another math calculation of I can't even go into all of that. That person here said they sent all the money to Israel. That person here said need to wake up. This is a heist. That person here said but they won't go to prison or be held accountable. They stole that money. It's literally a South Park Ocean 11 heist. This is more than heist, honestly. This is more than heist. One thing I've seen with these politicians, one thing I've seen with these people of class, according to them, because as far as I'm concerned, in fact, I have class more than them because I have integrity more than them. So, but one thing I've seen about them is the fact that every single thing, like I said from the beginning of this video, that is relating to the poor, the masses, they all want to be involved. They all want to enjoy it. They all want to have their own national courts. In fact, they prefer to even split it among themselves than just a dime getting to the hands of the poor. After all the promises, after putting a lot of people's hope eyes, and you can see from the comments I read from you guys, a lot of black folks already knew that this was actually going to happen. So they were not literally just putting their 100% hope there. If you're watching this video and you still think that DOGE is still available or you're still expecting DOGE, please remove your mind, because as it stands now, these people has literally taken everything to their pockets. They just want the world to keep knowing their names as trillionaires. In fact, if there's anything like 14 years or 15 years, I think this is what they actually want the world to literally know their name as. And that is why they keep enriching their pockets. And that is why I keep saying it. It is high time that a lot of people sit down, reflect, especially these white folks, sit down, reflect on your life and know the right direction to take, because these people literally do not care about you. Now that it's happening, they did not say, okay, because you're a white person, let's give you the white privilege so that you can actually enjoy. No, you were also scammed. Allegedly. Anyways, subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credit belongs to original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't, subscribe. And yeah, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like always in my videos. I'm going to be saying, man, I'll see you guys in my next one. Where is the money? That's the question. Bye for now. I love you guys. Bye.